All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah, Kodash. I want to give double honors to my apostles and elders, great millstone, who teach very well while I learn this truth from. And salutation out there to the hopeful elect who continue to push this word in all truth, faith, and sincerity. And also shalom to the men, women, and children who sincerely believe upon the words of Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. And today, man, just basically getting on receiving this truth, man, because this word, this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, it will actually save your soul, man. You know, it's not like we're pushing out these words to sound deep, pushing out these words to debate. No, these words are actually getting pushed out to save your motherfucking life, man. You know, and that's why you shouldn't, for lack of better words, you shouldn't take this truth lightly, man. Because if you're taking this truth lightly, that means you take your salvation lightly, man. Real quick, let's start off with this, man. Because at the end of the day, the Lord, He's pushing forth a certain vibration throughout the planet Earth, man. And that vibration is not the vibrations of hugs and kisses. That vibration is not the vibration that everything is going to be fine and dandy. No, that vibration is that all hell is finna break loose, man. And if you're not on the Lord's good side in that day, then ultimately you're going to be taken by these different plagues and pestilence and tribulations that's going to come upon the planet Earth, man. You know? Let's go ahead and get this. This is the book of Zephaniah 2 and verse 1. It says, gather yourselves together. Yeah, gather together, O nation not desired. And how are we gathering ourselves together? Through this word, through this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You know, Yahweh Shai said, if I be lifted up, I will draw all men unto me, man. And through this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, this is how people are getting drawn unto the word, man. People, you know, they're not getting drawn to the word through songs and dances, you shucking and jiving. No, it's actually the words of Yahweh Shai that draw people into this truth, man. You know, I just started learning how to play the guitar and things like that. And the guy who was teaching me, he was like, he was like, yeah, man, that's a beautiful instrument. And he was like, things can, it's beautiful how things can change suddenly once you mention the name of God, But for lack of better words, I took it, as soon as you put the names of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, or the truth, wisdom, and knowledge, understanding of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai upon something, it just changed the whole vibe of it, man. And that's the same thing with this truth, man, because for years we was calling upon Jesus. For years we was calling upon Allah, Buddha, whatever denomination you believed in. But hey, it was a point when the Lord introduced us into Yahweh Shai, man. And then right then and there, everything changed. You prayed to Jesus for 30 years and not one prayer was answered. But as soon as you start praying to Yahweh Shai, things start changing, man. So let's read this again. Going back to the book of Zephaniah 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yeah, gather together, O nation not desired. How we're being gathered together through the spirit of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, man, through this word. Continuing on. It says, before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as the chaff. Yes, man. Because, hey, for lack of better words, man, you better get right with the Lord before shit get bad. And shit is going to get bad quickly, man. It only take 72 hours, 48 hours, damn near even 24 hours for all hell to break loose, man. It takes 72 hours for everybody to get wind of it. But that first 12 hours, man, it's going to be at least 4 people dead, 12 break-ins, Let's continue on, though. It says, before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as the chaff, before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you, before the day of the Lord's anger come upon you. So basically, get right with Yahweh Shema Shah before that evil day comes. Because guess what? When that evil day comes, it's going to be too late, man. Let's go to verse 3. It says, seek ye the Lord, all ye meek of the earth. And how do we seek Yahweh Shema Shah? By seeking this word, by seeking this knowledge, man. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found, man. And actually doing what? Seeking his prophets too, man. Because without the prophets of Yahweh Shema Shah, then how would the word be pushed forth? Because, hey, the Lord, he have certain tools for a certain thing. when he want some, when he want to send forth the sword, he sent forth Esau, man. But when he want to send forth the decree, he sent forth what? The prophets, man. Let's go ahead and get this in Chronicles, man. This the book of Chronicles. Salakia, please, Bamaki. This the book of 2 Chronicles 20. Jump it down to verse 20. And it reads, it says, and they rose up early in the morning and went forth into the wilderness. And they rose up early in the morning and went forth into the wilderness of Tekoa. And as they went forth, Jehoshaphat stood and said, hear me, O Judah, and ye inhabitants of Jerusalem, believe in the Lord your power, so shall ye be established. Believe his prophets, so shall ye prosper. So a part of you seeking Yahweh Shema Shah, or a part of you seeking the Lord, you have to seek his pastors, man. You know? And that's a thing that was never changed, man. It's not like the Lord switched up the system. No, man. This has been the system ever since the beginning of time. Let's go ahead and get another one in the book of 1 Samuel, man. It have always been the same thing with Yahweh Shema Shah. The Lord, he's not going to come down on his throne to deal with you one-on-one. No, he's going to send a prophet to deal with you, man. Let's go ahead and get this. Please, Bell Market. This is the book of 1 Samuel 9 in verse 9. Salakia. This is the book of 1 Samuel 9 and 9, and it reads, beforetime in Israel, when a man went to inquire of the Most High, thus he spake, come, let us go to the seer, for he that is now called a prophet was before time called a seer. So that shows you the importance of the men that pushing forth these words, man. Because it says, if a man before time, he wants to inquire of the Most High, that mean you just knock on the Most High door, come outside. You gotta, hey, Lord, what's up? Man. You have to have a mediator. And that mediator was what? The prophets, man. But it says, read this again. Before time in Israel, when a man went to inquire of the Most High, thus he spake, come, let us go to the seer. So even in the past life, they had to go to men to get this knowledge, to get this understanding, which shows you that you can't do it by yourself, man. And it also shows you that camp was important, man, because it was a such thing as sons of the prophets too. Let's continue on, though. It says, for he that is so called a prophet was before time called a seer. And again, that's why it shows you the importance of you seeking the prophets of Yahweh Shema Shah before that day come to pass, before the famine of the word comes, man. Because it's not like you're going to get the words of Yahweh Shema Shah from T.D. Jackson or from Reverend L.L. Jackson from Great Avenue Baptist Church, 42 Bethlehem. No, man. You're not going to get it from him. You're going to get it from who? The true prophets of Yahweh Shema Shah, the men that's on the highways and byways pushing forth this word, man. Who's able-bodied, who's able-bodied to push forth this word on the highways and byways. But even certain men that can't even go out on the highways and byways, they still push out their videos on the unicorn, man. Which shows you the importance of pushing this word out. Because you pushing this word out, it's just not to benefit you. No, it's benefit everybody that's around you, man. Let's go right here to the book of 1 Timothy. This is the book of 1 Timothy 4. Jump it down to verse 16. Take heed unto yourself and unto the doctrine. Continue in them. And right there, man, it says, take heed unto yourself and unto the doctrine. Which means what, man? Examine yourself and examine how you lined up unto the doctrine of Yahweh Shai, man. And we all come short. But hey, that means we the Lord got something for you to work on then. Read this again, though. Take heed unto yourself and unto the doctrine. Continue in them. For in doing this thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee. So you pushing forth this word, you pushing forth this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, you're going to end up saving yourself and also the people that hear you, man. So again, it's an importance for feeding the sheep. It's an importance for you pushing out this word, man. Because again, if you don't push out this word or don't push out this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, ultimately, you're gonna set yourself up for failure, man. You know? When really, once you push out this word, knowledge and understanding, once you push out Yahweh Shai, then you're setting yourself up for salvation, for the lack of better words. You could be potentially a part of that number. And what's much more you can ask for, man? You know, so let's go ahead and start right here in the book of James 1 in verse 21. It says, wherefore, lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness. Yes, man. It says, wherefore lay apart all filthiness. Which meaning what? The ways of this world, man. Because brothers was all once trapped up in this way of life, or brothers was trapped up with that way of life. But at the end of the day, the spirit of the Lord shall stand, man. At the end of the day, the Lord wanted this to happen this way, man. For the lack of better words. Because again, in order for us to appreciate the truth much more, we really had to go through wickedness, man. We had to go through a wicked society, man. So once we get this righteousness, we appreciate it 10 times more. So let's go back to that James. Going back to that James 1 and 22. So like in 1 and 21, wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness. And right now, that word receive actually goes back into what? Believe, man. Because again, once you get this word, you just don't sit on it, no, you believe upon these things that's spoken in this word, man. And you actually apply them. Because it's not like the law is done away with, or the law or something that was wrong with the law. No, man. The law was actually set up for you to live forever, man. But it's these fleshly bodies while we fell short. But let's continue on, though. It says, and receive with meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your soul. Now, real quick, it says receive with meekness, man. Because he ain't like, you got this truth about yourself. No, the Lord, he gave this truth to you, man. That's why it says receive with meekness, which meaning what? It ain't nothing that you done. It's something that the Lord done with Yahweh Shai said. Yahweh Shai said, I have not chosen you. It's like I have not chosen, you have not chosen me, but I have chosen you. Roughly paraphrasing, Salakia for the slip of the tongue, man. You know, but let's go ahead and read this, receive the engrafted word, which the Lord have blessed us with, man. Let's look up that word engrafted.
Strong's G 1721, Emphatos.
Strong's G 1721, Emphatos, and born, implanted by nature, because again, for lack of better words, the Lord, he implanted us with this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding from the womb. But let's continue on though. It says implanted by others' instructions. And who are those others' instructions? Let's go right here to the book of Proverbs 4. It says, hear, O you children, the instructions of a father, and attend to no understanding. So these instructions and the wisdom, knowledge, understanding that we're receiving, it's just not coming from so-and-so or this, that, and the third. No, this is a heavenly doctrine that we're receiving right now, man. Even though you might got it from a man, but hey, at the end of the day, the source comes from the heavens, man. Read it again. Hear, you children, the instructions of a father, and attend to no understanding. About you knowing the understanding is you knowing the prophecies. You knowing about the MOTB. You knowing about all hell breaking loose. Let's continue on though. It says, for I give you good doctrine, forsake not my law. And that's this good knowledge, man. This good understanding, this good truth, which will stand the test of time, man. Because all these other doctrines faded away. The Black Panther doctrine. Even what's the new one? Salaki, the Wakanda doctrine, the BLM, Black Lives Matter, the Martin Luther King, all those different doctrines, they came and went. But this doctrine is everlasting. And only a few men will lay hold unto this doctrine. Read this again. For I give you good doctrine, forsake not my law. For I was my father's son, tender and only beloved in the sight of my mother. He taught me also and said unto me, let thine heart retain my words and keep my commandments and live. And again, you don't supposed to let these words fall into the ground. Ignore these words, because actually the words that these different men are speaking, they're coming to pass right before our eyes, man. Continuing on in verse 5, get wisdom, get understanding, get this truth, forget it not, don't forsake it, neither decline from the words of my mouth. So hearken unto the Spirit, man. Hearken unto Yahweh Shema Shah, because ultimately it's going to lead unto everlasting life, man. It says, forsake her not. Who is that her? That knowledge, that wisdom. Because wisdom is a feminine trait. It's like a wisdom is a feminine spirit, man. It has a motherly trait. It nurtures you. Continuing on. Forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee. Love her. Love this truth. Love this wisdom. Love this knowledge and understanding, and she shall keep thee. What does that mean? She shall keep thee. She shall save thee from the evil, man. Let's go to the word keep. I think that word right there is on Nassau, if I'm not mistaken. Strong's G 5341.
Strong's H 5341. Not sad.
It says to guard, watch over, to watch, guard, keep, to preserve, guard from dangers. So this truth that the Lord have given us is going to guard us from the dangers that we finna see ahead, man. Continuing on, to keep, observe, guard with fidelity, to guard this truth with faith. That's why it says receive with meekness, believe with meekness. The engrafted word, which is able to save your life. You have to believe that this word is actually the bridge to your salvation. To guard, keep secret, to be kept close. Hold thou fast with our hands, man. You know? To be a watchman. You know? So again, we go back into that word. We go back into that word in Proverbs 4 and 6. It says, forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee. Love her, and she shall keep thee. So again, this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding is going to keep you. It's going to protect you in the dangerous times to come ahead. This is the book of Proverbs 1 and verse 30. Matter of fact, I'm going to start at verse 29, because it's two ways. If you're going to love the Lord, you're going to hate him. It says, for they hated knowledge. Yes, you hated us saying you can't commit adultery. You hated us putting out Leviticus 20 and 13. You hated us saying that you can't stay in America. You know? For they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord. They would none of my counsel. They despised all my reproof. Every time brother pull out a precept, you cringe. Deuteronomy. From Genesis to Revelations, even to the Apocrypha, you people are cringing at the words of Yahweh Shema Shai. Why? Because these words are not for you. Continuing on, it says, therefore shall they eat the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices. Yes, because ultimately the things that you believe in is going to lead to your downfall. For the turning of the way of the simple shall slay them. Yes, you're turning your back upon Yahweh Shema Shai. You're going to ultimately die. It says, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. Because really, at the end of the day, the reason why people want to stay in America, because they're comfortable in America, man. You're prospering. Whether it be, because, you know, ain't nothing wrong with you having this, that, and the third. But once you start leaning upon those things, then you start getting into a realm of being a fool. You know, you're leaning upon carnal things instead of leaning upon Yahweh Shema Shai. Continuing on, though, at verse 33. It says, but whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely and shall be quiet from the fear of evil. So if you hearken unto this word, or you hearken unto this doctrine, and you hearken unto the prophets, you're going to dwell safely, man. And you're going to be quiet from the fear of evil. Let's look up that word quiet, man. To be ease, be at peace. Be at rest securely, be quiet, you know? Let's see, it's a root word. Let's see what this say. The house of ease, Bashan. A house of ease, man. So, you know, you really dwelling in the tabernacles of the Most High. You're dwelling under the shadow of the Almighty. You're dwelling under a house of comfort, man. A house of peace, a house of rest, where you can get it and nowhere else, man. This is the only place in the world, man, where you can get comfort with your soul, man. This is the only place in the world where you can satisfy your soul. And how do you satisfy your soul? Through the words that Yahweh Shai spoke, man, which covers up to this very day. And again, these words are going to actually lead into our salvation. So yeah, Akim, just a quick little video. I pray it was edifying. I'm going to say, call Halayim La, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, Shalom, PTA, and the Bob Bow.